which are massive DPS themselves, and a really interesting army composition now from the Orc Elf team, just because they have lots of high DPS units, nothing really to tank though, and it looks like Web has finally been researched, one of those Wind Riders being taken down, but these Dryads just going down so quickly as well, and this Undead just now on the run being forced to TP away, and Simple Minds will have to get up here eventually himself, but maybe he's going to try and hold on a bit longer. Oh, that Nog actually went down, but it looks like lots of burrow being used here. He does just need a TP away, and will you be able to save any of these fiends? Will you unburrow them just in time? Oh no, sorry, that was the other Undead's fiend, which just accidentally left behind. It's a bit of a shame, but it will just be there to scout, assuming that assuming that this team doesn't remember that it burrowed and doesn't just think to use Dust or have a unit that can reveal invisible units. And so it looks like this expansion will go off, and so these Undeads, well, they did do a significant amount of damage. They took down both heroes at one point or another. It's just really, they're so much an economic disadvantage now. They really need to do some pushing. They can't let the economy sort of overwhelm them now. And yeah, they're now saying that they do have Web, and Burrow really should have been used sort of as soon as the TP ended there, just to try and heal up those fiends before they go for another push, because there's really no reason not to have it. This Nog now being revived, and probably once that Nog is back, they'll go for the push. And it looks like yeah, this one burrowed fiend here, just gonna have to try and make a run for it when he thinks the coast is clear. And I think it'd be quite nice to push down this direction, really to try and hit from here, because obviously this ancient forge is gonna be quite annoying and be a bit out of the way as well. You know, Simple Minds gonna maybe move in for an attack now. Looks like he's not really good transition. No real sign of those banshees that we were promised at the beginning of the game. But it looks like actually we're gonna see this push here. This Death Knight's still only level 3. That could be a bit of a disadvantage for him, because it means that this really high level Death Knight can't be healed quite as well. He does have the Pendant of Energy, which is just so nice, and he does have a Scroll of Healing, which will help keep him alive. Do we not have a TP here for Simple Minds? No, we don't. So, oh, sorry, not for the other one, for, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. And so it looks like this is going to be quite a dedicated attack here. I mean, oh, that's Torn Chieftain getting blocked a bit by his own gun, being forced back, and obviously he can be focused down so quickly with 2 coils and 2 Novas, 2 Forked Lightnings, all that stuff. And another, very nice use of a invuln pot there after a nice shockwave, and it looks like this Dried Armor going to come in. Very nice coil there, keeping these destroyers alive for as long as possible. But these Wind Riders just doing so much damage, even though they are webbed, they do a whole bunch of damage still. And a level 5 now on this Torn Chieftain, that's very nice. And these fiends doing so much damage, really chasing these Dryads back, and the Dryads just getting blocked by the other He's Animate Dead being chosen. Really interesting, considering that level 3 aura would be so useful in a 2 versus 2, and it's still doing a fair bit of damage itself. And this is a very critical battle, and he did have the mana, so maybe it's worth it. And it looks like actually we're seeing very nice shockwaves here from this Torn Chieftain. Finally, obviously when there's so many units, it's hard to get a bad shockwave off really. And it looks like actually this Naga now hitting level 4, and the Shadow Hunter does go on. This Torn Chieftain forced to TP away. Really nice play here, and Animate Dead actually did work fairly well in their favor. I'm not sure it's the best long-term choice, but maybe if they're hoping to end this game right now, it's the best choice. And look how many burrowed fiends there are. Such nice use of burrow all through that battle. And these Watchtower, even though he does have the fortified defenses upgrade, or reinforced defenses, he's going to be able to he's going to lose them anyways. And looks like these fiends just actually unburrowing now, and just going to be healing with the level 2 aura and the statue healing. But this expansion is still up for the elf, so there's still a lot of work left to be done for the double undead team, and Abomination being chosen to now. Very nice, and looks like a nice coil cancels the clarity there. And obviously coils are pretty cheap, considering that you do have statues which will generate your mana pretty quickly. And the Torn Chieftain is coming and getting shockwaves and leaving, and that's really working out for him. Nice coil, saving that Abomination at the last second, and this Tinker getting level 6, going into Robo form, and that's just so annoying trying to kill, especially against so many coils. Just it's so annoying that you can't really get uses anymore. He does just manage to get away with using invisibility potion as well. That's really nice player by him. And more shockwaves coming off here. The Storm Chieftain being so obnoxious, and it looks like this Tinker might have to go back home and heal. So rare we see a Tinker, invisible Tinker in Robo Goblin form, even, and it looks like actually this expansion has finally gone down, and it looks like we will be seeing this attack going off here. This Death Knight, only with level 2 aura, obviously, just so odd that he would not go for that level 3 aura, but it looks like actually this expansion will finally go down himself, or will finally go down. It looks like that will finally put these double undead team into a good economic position. 2 Abominations, very nice as well, although it's interesting that Simple Minds had to build them. I think it would be better if the person who didn't have the 3 attack upgrades. The Fiends built them, and then obviously more Fiends could be built by the by Simple Minds. And it looks like actually a nice attack actually coming in here. Oh, Naka gets taken down so quickly. That Tinker was such a nice tank as well, and a nice call goes off there to save that one Fiend while the TP goes off. And it looks like we will be seeing this game postponed for a bit, or extended for a bit longer. Some mines going up here. Actually, looks like just one going up now, but this will be very, very nice for Simple Minds if it can get up. And actually, it looks like he had to pull one of his acolytes off goal to do it, and it's a bit. It's generally better just to build another one, but maybe he's just going to use his original 5 once this mine runs out. And I wonder what we're going to be seeing from our other player, whose name I don't want to try and pronounce. Just in terms of where he's going to be expanding, if he's going to be expanding, or if they're going to be going for a really strong push now. And it looks like this Tinker, there's so many nice items. Obviously with the level 6 Tinker, it's just so annoying to lose your hero, and maybe he's going to go and try and just scout out what's going on. Obviously no shades, so it's going to be really tricky to actually work out that he's there, but he is a really bulky hero. It might just be, if you're moving around, it might just be able to work out through the pathing that something's wrong, just because he's just such a huge hero. And actually looks like this one skeleton scutting at a wisp, and no expansion going up there quite yet at least, but it would be very, very nice to see an expansion. Looks like we did see a tiny Great Hall being used there, and actually Elf now setting up an expansion here as well. And looks like this Tinker really taking the scenic route here, making sure he scouts every last thing in this undead space, and he's going to have to use his staff of teleportation. Maybe going to try and take out the mine, but the mine only has 30 gold left in it. It's not really worth taking out. Yeah, he said he's going to be going for that ziggurat instead, and he does have this staff of teleportation to get out if he needs it, which he will eventually, but looks like he will be able to take it down the ziggurat. Obviously this Tinker does so much damage. Just look at this, even with this being repaired, it's still going to go down just to 1 Tinker, and he will be able to just use moon walls to get out there afterwards. So nice, and actually putting down a pocket factory as well, not too great use of his mana, but he probably has a lot of moon juice stored up, so yeah, he just goes into Tinker form just so he can use less of his moon juice as well. And very, very nice play there by that elf. Just obviously just doing a bit of harassment while their expansions go up, and this Torn Chieftain doing a bit of scouting out. Obviously he has picked up some really nice items as well. You just need to be so wary of keeping your heroes alive against this massive nuking team. And we are still seeing only 1 attack upgrade on this Fiend, and considering that he also went for Destroyers, which would also benefit from those same upgrades. It's a bit surprising we aren't seeing a couple more, 1 attack upgrade on these grunts. So many grunts being built, even late game, very, very surprising. I guess against Fiends, they're quite useful, but at the same time, you can go for like Tauren or something like that if you're tier 3, and it's a much better choice really. And it looks like actually we will be seeing a bit of a battle here. Hex going off on that Death Knight, but obviously it doesn't last too long, and it looks like a Nova going off on this Torn Chieftain as well. Just needs to keep him alive. Uses one of his healing potions as well, and a nice wall of sort of tanks just here for the undead team. Just is going to be really tricky for the... Ooh, wow, Coil Nova goes off, take down that Torn Chieftain. That's really, really bad now for this Auric. Who, if he had level 6, actually that'd be pretty nice because he could just use his reincarnation. But unfortunately, he didn't quite have it yet. And this Tinker now taking a lot of focus, and this Torn Chieftain needs to be really careful to get out of here very, very quickly. Oh, he gets Fork Lightning, uses Invuln Punt at the last second, and a healing potion, and popped a mana potion as well, so we can get 1 more Shockwave. Very, very smart choice there, because those Shockwaves are just worth so much now that they're level 3 Shockwaves. And Animate Dead being used yet again. This Death Knight taking a lot of damage, being forced back, and this Tinker's just such a beast. And Animate Dead being used to tremendous effect now, and look at Simple Minds just having his really low heroes being forced back so constantly, and these statues actually now being forced into a very bad position. Gonna try and run back, but just so nice play here by the Orc Elf team, really doing a whole lot of damage. Level 6 now on the Storm Chieftain, taking down that Death Knight as well. Oh my god, this is just going so well now for the Orc Elf team, who do have their expansions up now as well, presumably. And it looks like this Death Knight being reincarnated, and very, very nice play here. And actually, ooh, Coil going off at the last second there to save that lich. So much action in 2 versus 2s, and this Tinker really not actually in too much danger. He does have a TP and a staff of teleportation if he needs it. Actually uses his TP instead of a staff of teleportation. I think he could have got away with just the staff of teleportation. The Naga does go down. So many hero kills in this game so far, and looks like this Torn Chieftain able just to do a bit of scouting now. Knows that he can't really be focused down too much, just because he's so hard to kill at this point, and he does have the reincarnation, which will pop up eventually, and it'll just be so annoying to try and face. And a call going off there on that Shadow Hunter, just because you have so much mana as an undead with statues, and to be honest, they basically just have heroes and statues at this point. Really, they just need to get these mines now going, and so they have just started mining by the looks of things, just about only for a little while. And nuking Shadowhunter, very very smart choice there. Obviously that Shadowhunter is really the weak link in this hero, but in these heroes, only 600 health compared to sort of the probably 1100 or so, 1200 health on that Torn Chieftain, and obviously a magic immunity on the Tinker. And I doubt we're going to be seeing any more heroes, because obviously they can just be focused, or any more heroes being built by this team, just because they can be so easily focused down. You know, some raiders being picked up, maybe for additional hero focus, but they don't really have hero focusing heroes, so I'm not sure how useful it's going to be. You know, some very nice nukes going off there on that Torn Chieftain, but he is just saved by an inbound pot, but obviously that does cost money, and that's just so annoying. And he had to use some mana and stuff as well, which on the Shadowhunter, which is always annoying, because obviously mana's much more hard to come by as an orc, and it looks like actually this Tinker taking a lot of damage. Does eventually manage to get out here, but is out of mana. Might be best just to try and move in here, try and get some healing. And looks like actually this one expansion is going to be scouted out. It's still only a Tree of Ages. I think a Tree of Eternity would be really nice at this point, if for nothing else than for the upgrades, like like the moon wall upgrade, things like that. They're all just really really useful, especially in late game. Just it's a bit surprising that we're not going to be seeing tier 3, or we haven't yet seen it at least. I guess it's quite expensive, but you know, I think it's probably worth it. And we are now seeing a lot of mining going on now for this elf. He has as many mines running as the 2 undeads put together, and so we will be looks like, I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing some pressure or what. I imagine the undeads are going to be wanting to pressure fairly soon, because they do know that they're being outmined, and so the longer they wait, the worse their position is going to get. And looks like we're actually going to be seeing some destroyers being used to push now as well. Very very smart choice here. Obviously, destroyer is really really strong if you can get if you can have them with mana. They're really good at focusing down heroes, especially with the combination of the orb as well, which I think yeah, both liches have the orbs, and obviously the orbs are just fantastic. You know, this one low destroyer being morphed and immediately healed up by that Death Knight, and level 5 now on the other Death Knight as well. So we do have some very mightily powerful nukes coming in from the undead team. And you know, this Torn Chieftain just gonna be scouting out to see what's happening. These mines completely undefended. You could probably get a good shockwave, get a couple kills. Ooh, only hits 2. Ooh, he should have got a better shockwave than that. But it's not too big a problem for him, because at least in the scale of his problems, it's not too big, because this Tree of Ages is going down, and that could be very very bad for him if his ally loses this expansion, especially considering it's his Tree of Ages as well. It's not just a normal Tree of Life, and these have lots of destroyers here with mana. Actually, would have been nice to see them wait until the actual battle coming in, but I guess they'll be able to hold it until this battle, which is probably going to go on fairly soon. It looks like, oh, the undead losing their other expansion as well. Hopefully they have some money so they can rebuild, or at least can get an acolyte out so they can sell some buildings and then rebuild eventually. And looks like these destroyers taking a bit of damage. Very nice sort of wall of dryads here, really good to block off the heroes, which is obviously the prime focus. Looks like actually this Torn Chieftain still being coiled a bit and being forced away, and finally this undead army managing to get through after a bit of bad pathing on their parts, and looks like they won't actually be able to do too much damage, but they did manage to save the mine, which is sort of the critical thing. So they do have both their mines up, if no gold. Actually, he doesn't have the gold to, yeah, he doesn't have the gold to rebuild his acolytes, so thankfully they can transfer between them. Ooh, yeah, they do thankfully at least have one acolyte, because they don't really have too much gold, or neither of them really have too much gold at this point. And actually we're seeing 50 food, 50 food, 47 food versus 44 food and 42, so a food advantage and probably a hero advantage really to the undeads at this point, but they just need to get the economy advantage again, because they're just so far behind in mining. Obviously I think only about 2 acolytes mining at this point in total for them, and it looks like actually these raiders, I'm not too sure how useful they're really going to be. I mean, they're nice for ensnare and all, but at the same time they just get focused down so easily, especially by that Nova. You know, that Lich getting very very low, but finally being called up, and a nice speech goal being used to save that Shadowhunter herself finally. And it looks like this Tinker now needs to do a lot of tanking now, and look, ooh, Shockwave coming in here, but it's a bit too far back, and this Shadowhunter really really low, really needs to be healing himself rather than healing other units, and Fork Lightning that Shadowhunter down to 6 health. Does just heal himself in time. That Nugget does eventually get focused down, and the Torn Chieftain being focused down as well, but obviously he does have reincarnation, so obviously he will come back with full health and full mana, and might well try and get some sort of kill off here. He could do a lot of damage. He does get surrounded, and this it looks like he does get focused down. Really, really smart play there by the Undead. So I'm really surprised that they managed to get that off.